Greetings loyal subscribers and honoured guests. Today I am starting a brand new series, one that I've been thinking about making ever since I bought my Steam controller and Steam Link. As it turns out, traditional point and click adventure games are a perfect fit for Valve's controller, as you can easily navigate your way around them with the touchpad and the trigger buttons. There will be some games that will require a few extra buttons in here and there, no doubt, but these can easily be mapped wherever they feel most natural. I was a huge fan of point-and-click adventures back when they were at their heyday, in particular the works of LucasArts, but I also enjoyed the Simon the Sorcerer games from AdventureSoft, the Discworld games, and the likes of Broken Sword and Beneath the Steel Sky from Revolution Software. Many folks would have you believe that the genre completely died out for a time, but this simply isn't true. Games like this may have become very niche for a time, but they've always been around, and have remained particularly popular in Germany. The huge success of Broken Age on Kickstarter brought the genre back into the spotlight, so we have seen a bit of a resurgence, but there has been a steady stream of great games over the intervening years regardless. When I used to play these games, I would tend to stick to comedies. However, just recently I have been enjoying some adventures with a gothic or supernatural feel to them, so my first review in this series will be the Charnel House Trilogy by Owl Cave, a spooky tale told in 3 fairly brief episodes. This game was originally released just as one episode, which now makes up the middle part of this game, entitled Sepulchre. 2 new episodes, Inhale and Exhale, have since been created that bookend Sepulchre quite neatly. In the first part, you are introduced to the first of the main characters in the story, a 26-year-old woman named Alex Davenport. She's just gone through a rather rough breakup with her boyfriend Gavin, and has a sick father in the hospital as well. As you take control of her and explore her flat, you gradually learn more about her character and her plans to go to Augur Peak Island, the home of her literary hero Louis Cassel, the author of The Charnel House Burial, a title reminiscent of the works of Edgar Allan Poe or H.P. Lovecraft. This first episode feels fairly grounded in reality, although there are definitely some strange and spooky things happening, with a cliffhanger that will definitely leave you wanting to see what happens next. Episodes 2 and 3 both take place on the same train, travelling on its way towards a small port town, whereupon the passengers will then get on a ferry to continue on to Augur Peak Island. It is in these episodes where the strangeness is really ramped up, from the mysterious huge black bags that are strewn around everywhere to the decidedly ill-looking chap in cabin 2C who goes by the name of Grub. In the central episode, control shifts over to Harold Lang, a museum curator who has been summoned to the island to assess some recent finds amongst the ruins. You get to meet Don, the rather strange yet apparently friendly ticket inspector on the train, and Floyd, the bartender. Things start to get very weird indeed in the dining car, however. Episode 3 then shifts the focus back to Alex, who's also having a weird time on the train. This is the longest of the 3 episodes by far, and although the whole game is less than 3 hours in length, I was starting to feel a little restless towards the conclusion of Exhale and hoping it would wrap up a little sooner, which would suggest that it slightly outstays its welcome. I'm not going to go into too many plot details, as the real joy of this game is unravelling the tale yourself. If you enjoy a good spooky gothic tale, then this will very much be to your taste, although I was quite disappointed that we never got to Augur Peak itself. Evidently there is going to be a sequel at some point in the future. The game said 2016, but of course we've already missed that. Hopefully it is still on track for a release in 2017. Before I wrap up with my overall conclusions, let's quickly go over the presentation and the gameplay. First, the graphics. The game was developed using the rather ancient AGS software, so it runs in an incredibly low resolution. Nevertheless, after the PC and the Steam Link box have upscaled it to 1080p, the game doesn't look half bad at all. Everything is well drawn and animated. There is one scene in particular where Alex looks out of her window down onto the snowy streets of the city, and you can see her reflection in the glass, which I thought was incredibly atmospheric. The voice acting too is top notch. Every line of dialogue in the game is fully voiced by a talented group of people, including the game journalist and YouTube celebrity Jim Sterling. Ashley Birch, who is Tiny Tina from Borderlands 2, is in there as well, but she only gets a couple of lines. I found this to be the perfect game for a lapsed adventure game fan to acclimatise back to the genre because of the brief length, the small and self-contained environments, and the fairly simple puzzles. As long as you inspect everything, it is fairly logical what you are supposed to be doing next, and the game is also pretty good at prompting you. Long-term fans who like really difficult puzzles may not be a fan of this because of the lack of challenge on offer, but to be honest, that's not the main focus of the game. It's the story and the characters. In that regard, it does very well indeed, although it is slightly unsatisfying to learn that the mystery won't be fully explored or answered until the sequel arrives. Overall though, this is a great tale and one that I recommend everyone dip into. The entire thing can easily be finished in one evening, or you could divide the 3 episodes up over 3 different play sessions if you like. After having played the Charnel House Trilogy, I would definitely like to play the next part in the story and whatever else Owl Cave makes in the future, to be honest. It has also given me an appetite to similarly spooky adventure games, so I will be playing other games like Black Mirror and The Last Door in future. For the next episode though, I think I'm going to play the cyberpunk adventure called Techno Babylon, which was published by Wadjet Eye and developed by Technocrat Games. I can't say for sure exactly when that episode will be uploaded, but I am going to start playing the game today, so it could be quite soon. In the meantime, take care.